Hey, what's up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about the Torture Mastery build. This is a breakdown, kind of beginner guide. If you've never played Warlock before, this is probably going to be useful as kind of like where to begin. Yeah, but there's a lot of different builds you can run on Warlock. That's why Warlock is so unique. But this is pretty much just going to be the introduction to Warlock with Torture Mastery specifically. I'm going to release a few videos of the different builds. This is going to be specifically Torture Mastery. Let's hop into it. So now that we're in here, we're going to break down the 3 spells that you typically run on Torch Mastery build. Power of Sacrifice, Curse of Pain, and Bolt of Darkness. So first we're going to go over Power of Sacrifice. Deal 3 magical damage per second to the target while increasing their strength by 15 and vigor by 15 for 12 seconds. So this actually isn't a spell you want to use to attack with because of how risky it is. Because the reasoning is, so for every spell that you cast, right? Say I'm using a Curse of Pain. If you don't hit a target, nothing happens, but it still consumes your HP. It costs 6 HP to consume. And this goes for every single spell that you use on Warlock. The difference is with Power Sacrifice, if you cast the spell and you don't hit a target, you hit yourself with Power Sacrifice, which does the 3 magical damage per second to yourself for 12 seconds. So over time, this is going to do 36 damage to yourself. So Power Sacrifice is not typically used to attack enemies. This is typically used to hit on like PvE, like mobs, when you're trying to heal off of them. You can use it on players, but it's really risky, especially mid PvP fight. Okay, so now we're going to go over Curse of Pain here. Curse of Pain deals 10 magical damage to the target instantly. Additionally, deals 10 magical damage distributed over 8 seconds. This is a really powerful spell that's used on both, you can use it in PvP, PvE, you can use it as well to heal off of, just like Power Sacrifice. But this is going to be Curse of Pain and Bolt of Darkness are your 2 spells that you're going to be using to do damage to other players. So let's explain how Curse of Pain actually works here. So when you throw a Curse of Pain on a goblin, right? Bam. Right when you hit him, it initially does 10 damage, and then it does 10 damage over the course of 8 seconds. So if you continually cast this goblin with Curse of Pain, each time I hit him with it, it does 10 damage. And also, it resets the 10 damage over 8 seconds each time you hit them. So, 10 damage, it resets. 10 damage, it resets. And it's pretty nice. It's really powerful. So, you can just kill players like this, PvE like this. It's a little slow, but this is typically how you're going to want to fight players. You're going to continually cast on them, which is going to continually heal you. It's going to reset the damage over time, and it's going to do the initial 10 damage per second. Alright, next we're going to go over the Bolt of Darkness, which does 20 magical damage to the target. It's literally just a bolt of magic that you shoot out, and you deal damage. The good thing about this spell is how far the range is. You can shoot this bolt from across the room. Keep in mind, it does cost the initial, I believe it's 6 health to cast, correct? And if you hit him in the head, it actually contributes to the 1.5 headshot multiplier. So if you hit headshots on goblins, you deal more damage, or on players. As far as the curses go, it doesn't matter where you hit them on the goblin, there's no headshot multiplier. But Bolt of Darkness is going to be caster's primary long-range missile attack. So say I'm a little bit injured here, as you can see by my health, and I need to heal up quickly. If you cast Curse of Pain on one goblin to heal up, and then you use Power of Sacrifice on the same goblin, you heal twice as fast. It ticks twice over here. So that's how a lot of Warlocks heal up really quickly, because if you have 2 different mobs and you do 2 different curses on each mob, you're healing 4 ticks of healing, which is insane. We're going to go over a quick clip real quick to kind of go over PvP. As you can see here, I'm being pushed by a fighter, I believe a barbarian and a rogue. The best way in this situation to win in this team comp is to just out-kite them. You see I'm pushing away, I'm throwing curses on them, I'm healing up, pushing away. When they get too close, sometimes you got to put away your book and keep running. But the most important thing, maintain distancing, listen to your audio cues to see how close they are, and just keep kiting back and forth. At a certain point in time, they're going to have to back up because they're getting dealt too much damage, and that's when you go on the defensive and you can just start cleaning up. Just make sure you don't get yourself in a bad position, get pinched. Alright, now that we got, all the curses out of the way, how to play, exactly how to heal off multiple mobs, we're going to go over the perks here. So obviously, Torture Mastery, you need this in order to heal off mobs with curses. Otherwise, you'll just be casting spells on enemies, the curses, and it won't be healing you back, and you're just dealing yourself damage. And then eventually you're going to have to find another way to heal, which it's kind of annoying, just using potions to heal, or, bringing this perk to heal off melee hits, So, yes, you need Torture Mastery in order to heal off your curse spells. So the spells that you could run with this, Torture Mastery caster build, Curse Mastery is on here, right? So there's a big misconception that Curse Mastery actually helps you to deal more damage to players because the curses last longer, but it actually doesn't. It splits up the damage over time. So the curse will obviously the damage will stay the same, but it'll last 30% longer. And the reason why this can be nice sometimes is it heals you more because the curse lasts longer. The ticks do less damage, but it's over a longer period of time. So, you will just be getting healed longer. But I don't typically run this because when you get in a lot of PvP and PvE engagements, you're cursing like crazy. So you're always refreshing your curses on enemies. And so it's not really worth a perk slot, in my opinion, when I run it. But for newer players, this could definitely help out. So typically the perks I'm going to run, right? Dark Reflection is a really good perk. They actually just buffed this from, as you can see, it's 0.75. It was 0.5 scale. So this actually scales harder, does more damage. But essentially, Dark Reflection is, while active, reflect 10 magical damage to the melee attacker, does not reflect while on cooldown. This scales with your magical damage. So in a caster build, you're going to have pretty high magical power. You're going to have additional magic, all that stuff, and that's all going to scale with Dark Reflection. So it's really going to caster too, because if you do get caught by a melee class and they hit you, they're going to take a big chunk of damage. I can't tell you how many times Dark Reflection has saved me, where the guy's one shot and he gets a hit on me and he just dies. And, he would have had time to get another hit and I would have died, but because I had Dark Reflection, I just killed him outright. So this perk is really good for caster classes. It'll help you with your damage output. Another perk that I think is like mandatory on caster build with Curse or Torture Mastery is Vampirism, because this scales with your healing. This helps you heal a lot more. This is definitely necessary, in my opinion. And then probably the final perk I would use would probably be Malice, because Malice gives you 10% will bonus, and will gives you more magical power, which increases the damage you do. It also increases your curse duration, which is really important when you're using Torture Mastery. But yeah, that's pretty much the build I would typically run. As far as skills go, of course, you'll need spell memory. You can kind of use whatever you want to use as far as skills go. Like, this gets kind of complicated. I'll make other videos, on different builds. But I think the safest bet for, like, a straight caster build, Torture Mastery, just curses and a little bit of damage, Phantomize is the best thing. Because there's a lot of situations where you're backing up and you're, like, kiting opponents, and you get yourself pinched either between two teams. Like, another person will flank on you, another team will flank on you, and you're pinched. You could just pop Phantomize. Phantomize, phase through melee attacks and projectiles for 6 seconds, and also gives you 10% move speed bonus. Keep in mind, though, that you can be dealt AoE damage, you can run over traps, it will hurt you, and fireballs from wizards can still damage you. But this Phantomize, this really helps you get out of some sticky situations. One tip, though, before you hit Phantomize, if you're realizing you're getting enclosed on, you're getting pinched in the team, and you have your spellbook out, or you have your weapon out, or your crystal ball, put it away so your hands are out, because when your hands are out as opposed to your weapon, you have more movement speed. So if you put your weapon away or your equipment away and your hands are out, and then you pop Phantomize, you'll have the max amount of movement speed, so you can get an even farther gap away from, whoever's chasing you. Alright, now that we have the perks and we have the skills, and you kind of know how to play, you know how to heal off mobs with Torture Mastery, we're going to go over like the equipment that you can use that will help, complement your build. So let's go over here to the Squire here. So a couple pieces of equipment that are really good with Torture Mastery is the Occultist Hood and the Mystic Gloves, because both of these pieces of equipment, they have base magical healing on the actual equipment, and magical healing is what you use to scale with your Torture Mastery. So now that we have the gloves and the hat on, which is good for magical healing, of course these can always be switched out depending on how much knowledge you need. You could always go over here to pour, and you can throw on some rawhides. Rawhides are pretty good for knowledge, because knowledge gives you more spell memory, so you can cast more spells. These are pretty good. If you need more knowledge, you could always go low boots. There's a few items here. But I think base kit, these are good for magical healing. One thing that you need to know when doing caster is your kit, typically, if you're just doing a straight caster build with damage, you want to be extremely lightweight, because you're going to have to be out kiting people, right? So, there's a few pieces of equipment that you could run, depending on what rings and necklaces and capes you have, that, could supplement the rest of your build, movement speed-wise. But I think a safe bet for, like, just a beginner, just learning how to play caster, Adventure Tunic's really good. It gives you max health, -3. It's really lightweight. It's really good. Light trousers are really good as well. Throw those on. They're really light, so your movement speed will be pretty solid. And I think that's a good start because this will help you be able to kite. And as far as boots go, boots are pretty static on what you want. You really just want to run occultist boots. Occultist boots give will and knowledge. Will obviously increases your spell power. It helps you deal more damage. Knowledge gives you more spell memory. Helps you get more spells. Able to use more spells. This is really good because, only Warlock and Wizard can use these boots, and it's pretty much specifically caster boots. Very good. As well, if you need more knowledge for pants, instead of using loose trousers, you could throw on some leather chalices. These are really good for knowledge, and they're lightweight as well. But typically, if you have occultist boots on, with your starting spell memory, you'll typically have enough to get 5 spell. Unless you're running like expensive spells like Hydra, then you might need a little more. But this is pretty good for a base caster build. Alright, now for the weapon. The main weapon that you want to run kind of depends on how you want to play. My favorite, obviously, to run is the Chris Dagger. Chris Dagger is really lightweight. It's only -10. And I don't even bring a secondary with it. You could, if you want, you could bring like a crystal ball with it, so you can cast with your Chris Dagger out. Just keep in mind that this Chris Dagger is -10 movement speed, and if you have the crystal ball on, it's -15. So you'll be at -25 movement speed with your primary loadout like this, which is, significantly more move speed reduction compared to just running a spellbook, which is -10. So typically when I run like a caster build, I'll run a Chris Dagger, which is -10, and then I'll have my spellbook, my secondary slot, -10. So you'll always be -10, which is like really good. It's not that much reduction in movement speed when you're trying to outkite people. And Chris Dagger is also a really good weapon to run on caster, is because when you're running away, if you listen to your audio cues, you can listen when somebody takes out a potion, starts to drink, then you can turn around with Chris Dagger and start swinging on him till he switched back to his weapon. Then you can run away again and just keep doing that. Because a lot of people aren't very good with understanding audio cues and understanding that if you switch to your potion, somebody can just turn on you really quick. And Chris Dagger is really good for that because the DPS is also extremely high on Chris Dagger. So that's, this is typically what I run. This is my loadout here. This also obviously doesn't include rings or a necklace or cloak, but, just as a base kit, this is like really solid to run. It's really nice. You have good movement speed. As far if you do want to go a little further and you want to add some rings on, this is a beginner's guide, nothing too crazy. You could always run Ring of Resolve. You could run Ring of Wisdom right here. Ring of Wisdoms give you knowledge. Ring of Resolve gives you will. As far as a necklace goes, you're really gonna want to run right here Phoenix Choker, because Phoenix Choker gives you true magic damage. True magic damage does scale with your curses on the initial hit. So this helps you deal a lot more damage. And if you could find one like this choker right here with a lot of magical heal, that'll help your healing even more. So if you can get magical heal on your rings, on your necklace, and then you find a cloak that you can get like a radiant cloak with more knowledge for faster casting speed as well as more spell memory, or if you want to just do splendid cloak with will that gives you more spell power so you can do more damage, you can always do that. But that's pretty much it. This is pretty much the beginner's guide of Warlock Caster. Coming up here, I'll just be dropping some PvP so you can kind of, understand how the movement is, because it can kind of get a little confusing. But, down below in the description, I'll have a Discord link. If you have any questions, drop a comment, hop in the Discord, ping me, let me know if you need any help. Our community is pretty cool, and yeah, everyone's always down to help out. It's pretty solid. And we also run tournaments every Sunday if you want to join, which all skill levels are welcome. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, if you have any questions, drop a comment down below and I'll answer it as soon as I can. And yeah, now for the PvP. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed the video. Oh no, he's chasing me. Oh no, he's gonna get me. No! Oh, dude, I'm fucking cooked. I'm cooked, dude. I'm so goddamn cooked. Oh. Oh no. you almost got me there. Oh, I'm gonna take some of this stuff. Oh, wow, some nice rings there. Got some juicy rings. Oh, dude, you're on my ass. Oh, I'm cooked. I'm so cooked, dude. GG's. GG's, I'm cooked. Oh, I'm so cooked, dude. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, shit, I'm cooked. Actually got him. That's crazy.